Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, perfectly.
Okay, that's fine. So here we go. Let's just share my presentation. I hope everything works.
It's shared, you just have to start the presentation
Okay,
mode.
so my name is Kamir Fulatlu. I'm from Eastern Mediterranean University of the Cyprus. I'm PhD candidate, and also I'm a senior instructor in the same department and department of the construction technology. As you mentioned correctly, this is a study about examination of the population density impact and major air pollutant in case of Germany. This is a study done with my colleague, Professor Hashim Altan. So, if I want to briefly talk about, let's say, background of the study today, there's a profound shift of a study of the atmospheric pollutant, especially at urban scale, due to the negative effect on the human and environment. So atmospheric pollutant emitted as a result of a rapid urbanization, burning fossil fuel, deforestation, and agricultural intensification. So the city always have a both highest pollutant rate and highest impact target, but unfortunately always the alteration of this atmospheric pollutant pattern was faster than planner to, let's say, able to come up with a solution. Up to a few years ago, the major air pollutant monitoring is not as easy as today. So because we need a ground station, but nowadays with the launch of the Sentinel-5 per square satellite, which is launched 2 years ago, and the census start to release the monitoring the air pollutant with use of remote sensing RS and GIS is become too much possible. In a current study, we try to monitoring especially nitrogen dioxide and the sulfur dioxide in case of Germany as a country scale, and we want to consider what's the relation between the population density and these pollutant. So if I want to, let's say, summarize the study, we can set that as an outline of the study. We are talking about urban development, and we are talking about anthropogenic pollutant, especially air pollutant. I am show my methodology diagram and then try to talk about the result and discussion. So as we say, the potential of the urban area since especially past century made it a destination for many people willing to live in the urban area. Accordingly, the United Nations estimate that by 2050, almost 2/3 of the world population will be live in an urban area. So such a rapid urbanization results in transformation of the natural environment to the built up and put pressure on the land cover. So rapid urban development always is a challenge and treated to the sustainability, especially environment sustainability. We know that urban area almost occupy 2% of the world land, but these 2% are almost responsible for consume 75% of the world energy and resources. So one of the big problem in urban area nowadays, we know that is an unplanned single use, low density, less accessible, and rapid urban development, which is almost addressed as an urban as problem. But of course, the city itself also become too much complicated because all the city dealing with the different issues such as the traffic congestions, urban pollutant, waste, water, sanitation management, resource management, social inequity, human health, and public security. So beside this, as we stated at the early of the presentation, burning fossil fuel, deforestation, agriculture, intensification are treated to the environment. And also result on anthropogenic pollutant. So the nature of the city, we know that it's shaped by concentration of the human material and activity. Therefore, city always have a highest pollutant rate and highest impact target. If you consider, as you can see, I put a transect from the rural to the urban area. We can say that the concentration of the particulate from a rural to urban area, if you consider urban area, always the particulate level in urban area 2 or 3 times are bigger than the suburban and 5 times bigger than rural or countryside. So the main reason we can summarize as majority of the anthropogenic source are within the urban or city. And beside the effect of the urban heat island, concentration of the human also in urban area is another issue. So as I said, I'm going to study mainly on air pollutant, not anything else. We can let's say categorize the air pollutant on the 3. One of them is the major air pollutant, include sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, particulate matter with 2.5 and up to 10 dimension lead, and ozone. You know that MAP are targeted especially due to their negative impact to the human health and vegetation, but also we have a hazardous air pollutant include physical, chemical, and biological agents. Of course, let's say hazard air pollutant in comparison to the MAP in a small in concentration, but we have also heat. Heat could be considered as a pollutant since the built-up area tend to be warmer than adjacent area, and the gradient of the heat in urban area is a climatic reaction to this eruption caused by urban development, and nowadays we know it as the urban heat island. So among the air pollutant, most of the study tried to focus on sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide due to the environment consequence. Besides, both of these anthropogenic and natural sources, both of them have anthropogenic and natural sources and produce mainly from the fossil fuel consumption. Both of them have a short-lived trace gas, and they have a key role in a tropospheric chemistry and both of them involve in a formation of the secondary aerosol particles. And both of them contribute to the acidic deposition in a terrestrial ecosystem. So if you want to say what is the major source of the nitrogen oxide include the fossil fuel combustion, meditated biomass burning industry, and transportation emission, also lighting. Nitrogen dioxide affect atmospheric oxidation rate and participate in formation of the surface ozone. The nature of source of sulfur dioxide is a volcanic eruption which can release large amount of the sulfur dioxide above the planetary boundary layer, as you can see here. So the anthropogenic source of the sulfur dioxide was burning of the sulfur contaminated fossil fuel and the refinement of the sulfide ore, which mainly concentrate again in a planetary boundary layer. So if I want to, let's say, summarize my study, as you can see, we have a literature review, but our main source coming from the Sentinel-5 precursors, which is launched recently, as we say, we get 12 cents for each of these emission, and with use of a Python API, we try to manipulate geographically correction, and then all the sense was coordinate to the World Geographical System 84 convention, and then we try to extract. The Sentinel is a 8 kilometer by 8 kilometer resolution, which is a almost low resolution. That's why we choose the country scale and the Germany. We have a level 2 Germany boundary. We can integrate it and extract our emission. We have estimated population of the Germany by 2019. That's why our study starts from end of October to end of the September of the 2019. And we use kernel density estimation, and we use Jenk natural break classification, and we use a fishnet polygon, and then we get the result. So accordingly, our study find that there is a population density and nitrogen, there is a positive correlation at 0.10. Of course, as you can see, the correlation is not too much strong, but there's a correlation, there's a positive correlation. Same thing for sulfur dioxide and population density. Of course, both pollutants also have a positive correlation. But when we come to the result, we know that Munich and Berlin have a maximum population density among any district of the Germany. But as you can follow here, if you say is let's say Berlin and München here, but the population, but the pollutant density is located in somewhere else. Most of the nitrogen dioxide is seen in the North Rhine-Westphalia, and while the sulfur dioxide mostly seen at Baden-Württemberg, Bayern, Schleswig-Holstein state. So when we consider most of the manufacture industry, such as Rolls-Royce, Metro Air Engine, Cascadian, Astrium, Airbus, BMW, Daimler, ThyssenKrupp, Otto, Fuchs, and OHB are mainly located in this state. So we can say that this pollutant is not too much related to the population density, but it's mainly related to the manufacturing. Also, similarly, we find another study same time, which is done by NASA and European Space Agency pollutant monitoring satellite by end of the February of this year. They find that due to the COVID pandemic, amount of the nitrogen dioxide in Wuhan, in China's, significantly decreased, if you can see in this figure, in comparison to the previous year, because due to the COVID pandemic, they forced to shut down most of the transportation and local business due to the spur of the pandemic COVID-19. So as a conclusion, the study of the atmospheric pollutant due to their negative impact on the human and the environment become a topic of discussion. So that's why we put forward to have a comparative review on the atmospheric pollutant. As I said, our study aimed to monitoring the major air pollutant, especially include the nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide pollutant in case of Germany as a country scale. I'm saying because the resolution of the Sentinel-5 per square is 8 kilometer by 8 kilometers. So that's why we choose Germany as a country scale. We try to quantify the relation between the population density and the pollutant. As I said, the result was a positive correlation, but not as strong as we expect. Of course, further study, we say it's required to find the correlation between major air pollutant, land surface temperature, urban heat island, which are contribute to the environment pollutant. So this is all for my presentation. Thanks for all of you.